Alright, moving on to chapter 20, that final trace of impurity. And since I'm going videos of 2 chapters at a time, this should be the last video in this series. So, and this is the second to last chapter, so that means this should probably be like the climax, with 21 being the epilogue. That's how these mangas tend to go, or maybe not, considering this was like the first one. So, to recap what happened in the last chapter, Yukari and Ron got wrapped up in rope, and the chapter spent a really long time explaining why they would not be getting out of that rope. And then Raisin gave letter to Tay, who Tay gave letter to Aaron, and it was letter from Watatsuki's to Aaron. And that's basically what happened in that chapter. And now we're gonna see what happens in this chapter. The wind, the shrine, the sky, Nakare Shrine, where there's not even a yokai to be seen. And the yokai sure are considerate that they don't like wreck Reimu's place when they're not here. The traditional fantastic newswoman, Ayesha Maimoru, she's here now. She was like in one panel earlier, and now she's here. It's been 25 days since the shrine maiden disappeared. I know she went up to the moon with a vampire, but for some reason she's the only one who didn't come back. I am flying without my wings. Oh, Aya, sometimes she have wings, sometimes she not have wings. Doesn't make any sense. This way, I suppose. We'll have to find another shrine maiden before long. And there it is. You're like... unless I'm wrong, you're like one hint at how the actual shrine maiden succession works. It's not hereditary. It's like chosen by somebody, and that's hinted at in this one-off line of dialogue. Why don't you spend half a chapter explaining that instead of like rope, because then you might be explaining something actually interesting. But no. How many will this make anyway? It'll be fine if it's someone who'll make lots of news for my paper, though. Oh, never mind, it was 3 offhand lines of dialogue. Ooh, I underestimated it. Yeah, Reimu's not back yet when everyone else is. I wonder why. I'm standing in front of the clock tower. My favorite part of the mansion. Speaks to me. Seems like there are a lot of crows out today. Ah. Hello, yellow. Happy. Greetings. Why, hello there, old friend. I'm here from the Bun Bun Maroons. I was hoping to speak to Miss Amelia today, or perhaps Miss Patchouli too. Well, what about me? That would be no good. A bit rude. Kick. Well then, I guess I'll just sneak in and talk to them. It's been almost 10 days since you came back, but I'm interested in why the shrine maiden isn't back at the shrine. Oh, so you're going to ask about when we went to the moon then? So I guess we're already at the epilogue then. No, because I remember other things happened. So we're in a weird like combination of epilogue and climax. We're epiloguing. I can't even say words anymore. We're epiloguing some parts of the story, while some other things are still happening. Sort of. We haven't heard the whole story, have we? If that's what you're here for, you're too late. Too late? Milady's interests have already been taken by something else. If you're going to ask her about the moon, you'll only be treated as a nuisance. Oh, what did you say? There's no end to Milady's interests. I know it. She's just like a little girl. Wasn't she 500 years old? Milady says the longer she lives, the more interest she finds. So a long live Yokai will be the best newspaper reporter. That's why I, old as fuck Aya, am a great newspaper reporter. You've been gone for a while, so it's been pretty lonely around here. We established Reimu was gone, and now she's back. The next page. I thought you'd come back right away, so I was waiting. you were just spacing out here, you could have at least cleaned up a little. But normally there's always some yokai or fairy or ghost here causing trouble. The Burbs, they're back to watch again. They mourn their friend, that one bird that died at one point earlier in the story. If it's quiet whenever I'm not here, then are they just making fun of me? Rainbow, they just like being around you. Huh? I've been waiting for you! The bird at the top of the shrine. It looks like I'll be able to get an article about your trip to the moon. So, please tell me all about the moon. Moon trip. Oh, we're doing a flashback. They do this a lot in these mangas, don't they? If you move, then we both lose. Fine, I surrender. Don't know why you bothered making that a flashback. You could, that was 2 panels, you could just made that with the rest of that particular part of the story, but whatever. Sakuya, it's moving water. It's get away from me. Happy vampire. So, what happens now? We can't have any unnecessary killing here. You'll all be sent back to the S soon. However, I got another job for you. So I'd like you to stay on the moon for a little while. What? Oh, your rabbits, they're twanging again. Look at them. Look at them. So what's Lady Yorihime bringing the Earth Shrine Maiden here for? Oh, she's going to use it to prove that she's innocent. That was a plot point that was established way early in the story, that people are suspecting Yorihime of doing stuff because Rainbow's doing stuff. That's being resolved now. Innocent? Well, there were those rumors of the rebellion, right? They said there was evidence of someone calling on the gods. Yeah. So Lady Yorihime was always the obvious suspect. She's the only one who can do things like that. So she says she's going to show people that Shrine Maiden can do it too. And then after this manga, she will never do it again. Oh my. I'd like to hear about all that. I'd like to hear all about that, please. Glasses Rabbit, she has returned. Who are you? They could open really old-looking doors without even touching them, and they could make the letters in their books get large or small as they pleased. And everyone who lived there was so nice and cheerful. Okay. Man. The fucking moon, as it's actually talked about in lore and how it actually is so dramatically different. My plans to record the last 4 chapters in the same day were foiled. Yeah, that's why there was a big cut there. I got interrupted, and now it's the next day. And now maybe I can finally finish this. Right, so where was I? I was on this line, right? And everyone who lived there was so nice and cheerful. Yeah, I was about to go into something before I got interrupted. I think it was something along the lines of, yeah, it's noteworthy how different the lunar capital is portrayed in this manga compared to, like, other facets of the series. Especially 15, where they're, like, shown in a much worse light to make Junko more sympathetic when her goal is to kind of destroy the lunar capital. I guess recently in Touhou 20, where the lunar capital was used as the vehicle for Touhou 20 to include very eye-rolling social commentary about AI. Might have been more I wanted to say, but fuck, I don't remember. More importantly, were you really okay? They didn't make you work like a pack horse or anything. It's a small book, Aya. You must fit it in your non-existent pockets. No, not at all. They just made me show I could summon gods all over the city. Because they don't have any sort of TV program where you could just film me and then show that to everyone, apparently, because that's just that advanced. What an unusual story. On Earth, they cut off your head and stick it on a prison gate. The story isn't interesting enough. I agree. Speaking of unusual things, I feel like I saw someone I'd seen before in the lunar capital. Do you know any of the moon rabbits? No, it wasn't a moon rabbit. Can't tell them apart anyway. It was more like something you'd see in a graveyard. Ooh. It's ironic because nobody dies in lunar capital. Except that they do. Because impurity is only dying of old age, but not being immortal, but not being able to die in any other way. It's really stupid. Doesn't make any sense. Is that racing again? I don't know. I'm legitimately confused because, like, they never explained why Raisin went from where Yorihime was to where Toyohime was in the span of, like, a chapter. So, either the droopy-eared rabbit that was with Yorihime wasn't Raisin, and there's another droopy-eared rabbit, or it was, and she got teleported off screen, and I need to read Runegate to figure out what happened. That's right, don't be afraid, I'm just a little lost child. Yuyuko, you haven't been turned into a child yet. Lost word hasn't happened. Orphan in 3. As long as your master's out, we don't need to take a break and eat some peaches. Why don't we do that? Yes. Next episode is the conclusion. So is this racing or not? I don't know. Maybe they have different hair colors and you just can't tell because, you know, this entire manga, except for a couple pages, is not in color. Alright, well that was that. Wish I would have... If I literally had 5 more minutes before being interrupted, I could have finished this entire chapter in one recording. Oh well. What even happened in this chapter? I don't... Before the part I was at, where I just went and asked people questions. That was the entire chapter, pretty much. This is the second to last chapter. Alright, well, I guess one more chapter and then I'm done. Bye. And at last, the final chapter, the Blue Feast. How will this exciting tale finally end? We're about to find out. At the shrine again, it's snowing. That thing you saw under the willow trees? You say it was a ghost? Yes. What? Weren't the lunar capital folks immortal? No, not technically. It's weird. They can die, but apparently they're so long-lived that, like, none of them have, but becoming immortal is impure. But basically being immortal is not impure. You got that? No? Too bad. Ghosts are immortal too. Well, yeah, that's true, but you see, if they don't die, how come they have ghosts? It's the egg or the chicken situation. So does this count for the moon rabbits too? Have none of the moon rabbits ever died either? Or they don't count? No, they have to, because they wouldn't allow the lunar rabbits to be there if they were impure, so not a single lunar rabbit has ever died. On this logic. Even though they were they were shown to be old moon rabbits earlier. I guess they're immortal, but they're also, like, old too. Question marks. Ah! Is that a visitor coming? That's Aya's voice. Or is that a visitor coming? Huh? I can't see anything. Tengu eyes are a little too good. Maybe they see even what isn't there. I mean, I know Momiji has really good vision. Do the Tengu have good vision too? I don't know. Maybe all the Tengu have good vision. Because there's, I don't know. Maybe they'll stay somewhere. Seems you finally returned from the moon, Reimu. Sure took her long. What was she up to? Happy. Still happy. Patchy. Yep, look at that. Same height. Patchouli is a gremlin. Although Saki is now only like half a head taller than them, when there's been many pages where she was definitely taller than them than that. Remelia. It is snowing. You are wearing short sleeves. Do vampires not get cold? Maybe not. Maybe they're really resilient to the cold. I don't know. One of them is talking. Oh look, she really is back. We're doing the transition lines thing, even though this is like directly after this. Iconic Marissa smile. I am wearing a hat. It's not my usual hat. I'm wearing glasses, even though it's snowing, so therefore probably not sunny right now. Although if it was sunny, you wouldn't be able to tell. I guess it is. That's why I have the umbrella, because it's sunny. You can't tell because the entire thing's in black and white. Which made it easy to forget that the entire moon fight happened during the day. Which is why that fight was bullshit. I would have won if it was nighttime, Reimu, trust me. Jeez, thanks to you, I got a hell of a bother. Well, I mean, you did agree to it. Thanks for that, by the way. I still don't know why you did that. Oh, well, it was definitely a mistake bringing you people to the moon. If it wasn't for me, you couldn't have gone there in the first place. Well. Angor. We have both an apology and a thanks for that. An apology and thanks. But before that, is it okay for you to be dressed like that? What are those cold-looking clothes? What do you mean? It's like what I always wear. It's literally just my shirt, but I got glasses on. Like I said, as an apology, this time we are the ones offering to take you to a sea. They don't see. A sea? But there are no seas in Gensokyo. Patchy can take care of that part for us. But even so, aren't vampires weak against water? Weak against running water. Difference. They are not really weak against water, it's just that they can't trust moving waters like in rivers or rain. It's a really weird thing. Who came up with this? I don't know. I guess showers are a no-go too. And flowing noodles as well, but hey, isn't it winter? Vermilia doesn't shower. Hope you like that lore. Give us a break already. I see, so you are all going for a sea vacation? Seems alright in the article. Nobody invited you, you know. Even if not invited, I'll follow the news. I am a reporter after all. Bird. That's not my bird. Transitioning again. Lady Curry, why are we walking up these stairs when we can fly? Aw, damn it. I'm sure we can succeed if we put in more effort next time, right? Also, could you maybe, like, fill me in on the plan, like, beforehand next time, instead of telling me what your goal is immediately before you tell me to go do it. I feel like that was really dumb of you. Next time those Lunarians are the ones going to be the ones left speechless. Yes. Which is why the next time the Lunarians are important in the series, Yukari will have absolutely nothing to do with it. Alright, I'm done pretending to be angry. What? My first great victory in a long while. After all, there was nothing good turning up lately. Huh? I'm so confused. Why don't you tell me anything, Yukari? Ron is taller than Yukari in this picture. I think in previous pictures it was the other way around. Oi, aren't you late? I was waiting for so long. The aliens kept watching me for a while. I had to pretend to be angry. Well, we are still preparing anyway. But by all means, please come in. Man, they sure got bored of watching you. It's been how long, and they've already given up on it? Lunar Capital's so advanced they can't have a spy network that lasts for more than a couple weeks, I guess. Please explain to me what exactly has happened, because Ron Yakumo's main purpose in this entire manga is to have things explained to her. Like I said, it was a decoy. The leaders of the lunar emissaries are two. One of them has great power in battle by means of letting the gods descend into her body, and the other one watches over the ties that bind the earth and the moon. Nobody else lives in that capital, I guess. In order to deceive the lunar emissaries, 2 decoys were needed. You understand? And those 2 decoys? The vampire's body was to draw out the fighter one, and then we. I don't know if it's true that the brain of the moon resides on Earth. But since they have spies everywhere, we had to throw ourselves into a trap in order to deceive any spy. So you don't know that's what Aaron is at this point? Why? Smoke. Yo, Mo. So I enlisted Yuyuko's help, the least likely one to think of getting involved. While you went into the gap I opened and attracted Toyohime's power, I secretly opened up another hole. Thanks to the 2 decoys, their home was left empty. I didn't actually give Yuyuko any directions, but I was sure that upon seeing that other opening, she would use it to sneak into the place. I made a lot of assumptions during this plan, and they all worked. So that was what it was about. I went along with Lady Yuyuko, but since she didn't explain anything to me, I was really troubled. Since for a whole month afterwards, we kept sneaking around the moon capital. Like solid snake up in here, Yukari. Great. That was another reason why I chose Yuyuko, since you could sneak inconspicuously about the lunar capital. Until the next full moon, when I could open the link between the Earth and Moon again. Good job not getting caught, Yomo. That probably would have been bad if you got caught. I think nothing went wrong in this entire plan. What do you mean by that? She was quite conspicuous. You see, they hate impurity in the lunar capital, but the both of you are denizens of the Pure Land. Never mind, they got caught. Whatever. Blah blah blah, impurity, 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 blah 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 blah. As expected from you, Lady Yukari, but you should have told me. You know, I was really upset the time we got back to Earth. I needed your reaction or something, so that's why I didn't tell you anything. Still could have told you that my goal was to steal something. You thought, what, did you think we were gonna, like, try to take over the moon, like, the entire time during that plan? No wonder you're confused. In order to deceive your enemies, you must first deceive your allies. After all, there was a spy in Gensokyo, and then what did Lady Yukari do for? And then what did Lady Yuko do for you then? A burglary was the objective. I wouldn't expect Yuko to do anything violent. I wonder if she stole some precious treasure from me, and when the Watatsuki sisters find it out, they will surely be left speechless. There were a lot of unusual things in the Lunar Sage's house, but there were all things like swords or jewels, hardly anything interesting. You know what's really interesting there? There was this rope. You probably want to talk about this rope for half a chapter, so I brought this. Silence. Yomo. Yuko, just what is this old-looking jar? It's sake. 1,000 years. Super old sake they had in the moon capital. Yomo. She's nervous. So the treasure that will leave them speechless is sake. Laughter. Oh, that was great. Stealing something they can't come to get back was the best idea. After all, we will just drink it all up. Oh, just imagining the aggravated look on the Watatsuki's faces makes me pleased. So, shall we drink this sake as a victory celebration for a bloodless victory in the Second Lunar War? This entire manga was completely pointless. But in all truth, the best way to celebrate this victory would have been drinking it as a moon-viewing sake. But for us who live on the Earth, a chance at having some snow-viewing sake is not one to pass on. Happy. Transition rectangles. Speaking of which, what must Reimu and the others be doing right now? By any means, it seems they made themselves a sea and are playing in the water, even though that sea of theirs is pretty much just a pool. Don't they live next to a lake? I guess they got jealous after seeing the moon sea, even though it was such a dead sea. It wasn't all that interesting. Yuko. Smile. Yomu. Yes? I must clean up the refreshments, yes. Yeah, Yomo's ghost half has pretty much been translucent the entire manga. I wonder how often that's a thing. I feel like most of the time Yomo's ghost half is just like a big white thing you can't see through, but it's shown to be completely translucent. Is that the word? I don't know. I think I know words, and then I don't know words. Open the door. Get in the pool. Everybody swim the aquatic dinosaurs. As expected, I have come anyway. I am taking pictures of people in swimsuits. I'm sure this will not lead to many jokes about me and other pieces of media. No. Like I said, ain't it weird to be playing in the water during winter? I assume they have a heating system in the SDM, so they're not freezing cold right now. Rainbow looks pretty cold. I think that's a pretty short hair during this manga. Rainbow's hair is normally longer than that, isn't it? Is that fairy maid flying? She must be. She is near Sakuya height. My lady, it seems we have other visitors. Just ignore them. Hello. I came through a portal. I didn't need to beat up your gate guard in order to get here. Looks like I arrived in the middle of something fun. Oh, but I didn't come empty-handed, you know. Ah, that's definitely better than swimming to keep your body warm in winter. Since I just got this great sake, I thought we should drink it all together.
Can't be helped, I guess our beach party is over. Eusaki, start preparing the feast.
What? We're gonna have a feast dressed like this? This way you don't have to worry about spilling your drink. Oh my, even if we make a sea like the moons in Gensokyo, we still do things the same way. That's what's so likable about these impure humans, isn't it? Making fun of us. Here you go. The closest Touhou has gotten to fan service. Considering what you had to read to get to it, I'd say it was well earned. Wink. Pictures. Smile. The last volume comes out this summer. What do you mean? Is this the end? Do I not have the last thing? Are you... Was the last page not on the website? What the fuck? This was the last chapter. I mean, I say that, but literally all I remember... There's supposed to be a scene where, like, Eren shows up, and then she, like, drinks the sake, and then she has, like, a stunned face, because, like, oh, how did Yukari get that? And then that was never brought up again. I don't know, there's no other... It ended at chapter 1, so I don't know why the rest isn't here. I'll be honest, I don't really care enough to use another website to find the last chapter, and it's more convenient for me to just end it here. That was Silent Sinner in Blue, I guess. It says the end, like... The last volume comes out this summer, the end. What are you talking about, huh? Now I'm just really confused what the hell is going on. There was definitely a scene with Eren, and it's not here. Make me think there's more, but it literally just said the end, and there's no more chapters on the site I've been using. So I'm going to assume that's the end. So, yep. That's that. That was Silent Sinner in Blue. A manga that started out okay, and was definitely a lot more entertaining for me to read like this instead of reading it on my own, because I could do stupid voices and make stupid jokes every now and then. But man, it got really boring after a while. Now it's done. So reading it again, I guess. And I didn't particularly remember liking this manga very much, so not entirely surprising that reading again. I don't know, it's mainly just the fact that the end, the last, like, half is such a slog. It was just like the first half that was a slog, and the second half was a slog. You know, like, recency bias probably better, but the fact that this, like, third to last chapter is one of the most boring things I've ever read. Let's talk about rope for half a chapter. Yep. I don't know if I'll ever end up doing something like this again. I don't know. We'll have to see if I feel like it. I think maybe there's the Racing and Tay manga, that one, the one that may or may not be canon, who knows. I've never read that one. Maybe I could do this and read it that way. Couldn't imagine rereading the other Touhou mangas, because they're a lot longer than this, because this is a story, whereas the other mangas are like slice of life daily adventures that go on until, like, the last two chapters have a plot. And that's most of the other ones, and they're very long. But, yep. It's the end of this series that I made because of a dream. So, bye.